And this is a top focus story that we are breaking on top of this edition of the biggest story tonight. This is Pakistan in denial over the drone spotted over the Indian High Commission. We are not surprised, but this is clearly, remember, again and again confirming the worst fears in New Delhi that Pakistan will never confirm its modus operandi. It has been exposed by India. Do remember India making it very, very clear, not mincing its words, that a drone was spotted over the Indian High Commission, and this is the reason why we have lodged the strongest possible objection to that with the highest authorities in Pakistan. But clearly, this is a Pakistan that never changes. As I get on our colleagues Niranjan and Abhishek, both tracking that story closely. And I want to go into Abhishek first here. You know, Abhishek, this is an entire release that has been released by Pakistan. Leave aside the fact that they realized what happened close to our airbase on the 26th. They clearly do not want to acknowledge the fact that the drone is spotted over the Indian High Commission, but they are talking of the Lahore blast. So clearly, this is a Pakistan that is caught in a web of its own lies, Abhishek.
Deepti, it would have been jocular had it not been so dangerous, you know. A drone flying over inside the compound of the High Commission and in the backdrop of potential weaponized use of a drone recently. I think the only word I understood from this entire release from the Pakistani Ministry of Foreign Affairs is preposterous. The Pakistanis are choosing to be preposterous and dishonest because remember, this incident happened on 26th of June. The Pakistani MOFA was informed of it on 28th of June and asked to investigate through a note verbal. And today is 2nd of July. Good 4 days have passed. And it seems that the Pakistanis have sat over it and not done anything. And perhaps in a pre-decided manner come out with this statement falsifying India's complaint. So I think this clearly shows that there is no intent whatsoever to respect diplomatic protocols. Remember, breaching perimeter security amounts to breach of Geneva Convention. And in that sense, I think the Pakistanis realize perhaps it's better to lie. As you said, they have been caught in their web of own lies. And nothing more can be said except for that perhaps the MEA might decide or should decide, I would say, to come out with some pictures which really prove this Pakistani statement to be a lie.
Oh, absolutely. And Abhishek, I think because the statement has just come in from Pakistan, we should be expecting, Niranjan, a response from the MEA anytime soon, considering an official word, an official confirmation of the story that Republic broke earlier actually has come in via the MEA. The MEA in India made it very, very clear that yes, that drone was spotted, Niranjan, and we have escalated this to the highest level. We wanted Pakistan to investigate. But look at what Pakistan does, Niranjan.
I'll tell you what they've done. They've tried to point out at Lahore. They've tried to point out at the Lahore blast. In fact, I'm reading from the statement that has come in, Abhishek, and that's how ridiculous it is. It says, it's happening at a time when evidence collected in Lahore blast is increasingly pointing to external forces with a history of perpetrating state-sponsored terrorism against Pakistan. Right? They're pointing at Lahore and they've raised Kashmir. They've spoken about Kashmir in the last paragraph and call it a diversionary tactic. I have Sushant Sareen and Kamar Cheema. Sushant Sareen, Indian. Kamar, I haven't asked you a question. Kamar, I haven't asked you.
FATF.
Yeah, Kamar Cheema is joining us. Kamar Cheema, Abhishek. Kamar Cheema, and Sushant Sareen are joining us on the phone line. Kamar Cheema and Sushant, you can listen into him and then respond to him. Kamar Cheema. Yes. What is the connection between drone over the Indian High Commission and the Lahore blast and Kashmir?
Well, I think there are two things. First of all, India wants to divert the attention from two things. One, the nuclear uranium which was found in the Indian market, so the international media could not talk on that. You want to divert the attention. And the second is Indian involvement in the Lahore, where there was a terrorist incident where India was involved and some of the assets which it had in UAE, and they were in contact with some Pakistanis. So obviously, India is directly wants that global community not to look on these two things. Either Indian involvement in Lahore, second, the nuclear uranium, the enriched nuclear uranium which is on the streets of India being sold.
Uranium on the streets of
completely
India.
wants world to forget all these things.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
this
yes.
is what. So this is what you are doing.
One second.
But good
Kamar,
job. Good job by India to divert the
After
Kamar, what is wrong with you? We asked you about the, I mean, you know, first of all, I don't think you know how drones function, Kamar. Okay, it's not, you know, drones, you know, nobody can just put a drone in the sky just like that. It has to get approval. You know, there are different, you know, India can't, first of all, India can't just fly a drone over the High Commission and then blame Pakistan for it. What's wrong with you? You're in Pakistan. Sushant, now they're trying to, you know, that day they accepted. They all came, including the governments, the ministers came on record and said that first they tried to call it a gas explosion. And then they admitted it was a bomb blast. And they admitted that they themselves are facing terrorist attacks of a terror group attacking a terrorist and targeting Hafiz Saeed. And now they try to blame India for it. Sushant, I'm sure you're not surprised, but how would you respond to this sort of a statement?
Look, frankly speaking, I would respond with the contempt that all statements emanating from Pakistan deserve. They don't deserve to be taken seriously. They deserve to be, treated with utter contempt. Now, this nonsensical theory which the Pakistanis for the last 2-3 weeks have been trying to bandy about of enriched uranium. Do the Pakistanis even know what enriched uranium is? Do they even know how enriched uranium has to be transported? Do they know anything about this kind of thing? You know, so they'll just keep blabbing their mouths off, and they will try and take something and then try and build an entire story around it. Then nobody buys the nonsense which they are selling. So they feel very hurt that hamara jhoot, nobody is accepting whatever lies we are trying to peddle. Then they will go and say that why isn't FATF, which has nothing to do with any kind of other smuggling or any kind of other activity, why isn't FATF taking notice of what the uranium, this alleged uranium smuggling which has been taking place? So this is the standard operating procedure of the Pakistanis, number one. Number two, you know, they are deliberately provoking India. I am convinced of it. When this attack happened, I've been maintaining it since then. They have been deliberately trying to provoke to see what will be India's response. We have so far not responded. I don't know whether we intend to or we don't. But they have been constantly ratcheting up the provocations. And this drone on top of the, or inside the Indian High Commission or surveilling the Indian High Commission, I think is a major breach of security and a major threat to Indian diplomats. Now, I think you have to give a tit for tat. You have to do something similar to the Pakistani diplomats. That one, you even look at an Indian diplomat, in a hostile manner. You wait and see what happens to your people out here. Okay? You have to deliver this message loud and clear to these Pakistanis. Otherwise, there is no other civilized language that they will understand. First and foremost. Second, you have to respond to the provocations that they are doing along the line of control in not just a similar manner, but you have to notch it up. If you are going to be afraid of going up the escalation ladder and all that you're going to do is a tit for tat kind of a response, then you are always going to be playing catch up to what the Pakistanis do. The Pakistanis have to be told that if they try something, some hanky-panky they try, the response from India will be much more severe than what they anticipate. And India will not be afraid to go up the escalation ladder. If this is the game the Pakistanis want to play, I think this is a game we can play much better than them, provided we want to play it. I'm not seeing any signs of that as of now.
Abhishek had a question. Abhishek and my colleague Dipti also,
Well, Kamar Chima, yes. I have a question for Kamar Chima. Kamar Chima, it's a serious question and I hope you give a serious answer. When was the first time you thought of connecting Lahore blast with India? Was it after the drone and a complaint by India about the drone over the High Commission Islamabad given to Pakistani MOFA or before that? Because it's important. I think
sir,
it will tell us whether you are cooking it up.
Sir, let me tell you. There are dozens of embassies in Islamabad in the diplomatic enclave. Dozens of embassies. No one has any complaint. It was your government which decided to scale down the diplomatic staff in Islamabad last year. 50% staff was taken back. So what the rest of the 50% staff is doing in Pakistan. They should go if they are not happy. If they should go back if they believe the government is not working. With
Well,
them
that
and they are not
advice,
happy with
that
They
advice,
should go
Kamar Chima,
back.
that
What
advice
they are
you can
doing-
give to your
all
government.
What they are doing is spying. All what they are doing is spying, doing no business, involved in terror activities in Pakistan, involved in money, spending money to the
You can
non-state
give
actors.
this- you
Why
can give
doing
this
that?
advice.
They are putting- Sir, let me finish my
You can,
argument, sir.
Kamar
Let me
Chima, you
finish
can
my
give this
argument.
advice to your government. Whether
people giving money to the
whether we
people
should be
going
shutting
to-
down the High Commission there.
You paid the money to the non-state actors in UAE.
Well, UAE is pressurizing Pakistan. UAE is pressurizing Pakistan to roll back its terror activities in Kashmir. Kamar Chima, you are a strategic affairs expert. You know that both Saudi Arabia and UAE, your best friends, are advising Pakistan to roll back terror activities in Kashmir.
Your deep state in Middle East is involved in terrorist activities. Your deep state in Middle East is involved in the terrorist activities in Pakistan. We should go for the
And then why is Pakistan in the grey list of FATF? Please, Kamar Chima, please tell us, if our deep state is involved, then why is Pakistan in the grey list of FATF? Why is Pakistan in the grey list of FATF? Sushant, you have to take this, If Indian deep state is involved in these activities, why is Pakistan in the grey list?
Up for the propaganda against Pakistan. If that is the only purpose, if your High Commission in Islamabad is all involved in spying, they should
Kamar
go back.
Chima, are you suggesting Saudi Arabia and UAE are falling for Indian embassy's propaganda there? Please, for God's sake. Sushant will answer this. Sushant, he is suggesting that propaganda by Indian embassies in UAE and Saudi Arabia has translated into pressure on Pakistan to roll back terror activities in Kashmir by their best friends.
They are no more diplomatic mission.
Abhishek, I
They are
can't
the
think over
spying
this
hub
guy.
for the
He's
Muslims
going
in
like
Middle
a
East.
raving lunatic. How do you expect me to respond? How do you expect me to talk when this guy, this lunatic?
Deepthi has a question. I wanted Sushant to answer this first. Sushant, go on. Sushant, go on.
Civilized conversation with these people. Look at the way he is raving and ranting. Almost that he's gone crazy. How do you expect me to even speak or make sense of what he is saying? And frankly speaking, I really, for the life of me,
Don't try to be Aristotle. Sushant, speak
What?
for your argument. Do not comment on me. And don't try to be
shut up.
Aristotle.
Shut up.
From India, as if you are the
Don't
only,
speak. When
you are
the
the
question
only
is
scholar
being
who
put to
knows
me, why
about
are you
Pakistan. You know nothing about Pakistan. Don't try
I know nothing about
Kamar Chima and Sushant, why don't you gentlemen call truce? Kamar Chima, relax. You can get so worked up
Do not
with the MEA not even releasing the pictures yet. Kamar Chima, 1 second. No, Sushant, please, let me come in. Kamar Chima, the point is we are given to understand that very soon, Sushant, it's important. Sushant, it's important to expose these people. And we believe in, giving out both sides of the story. Sushant, please bear with me. Sushant, please bear with me. Sushant, please bear with me. I am requesting you, Kamar Chima. The point is we are learning that the MEA has evidence, Kamar Chima, of this drone that was flying over the Indian High Commission. Should you not be worried if this is not a drone that belongs to Pakistan? Whose drone was this? Kamar Chima?
There is no drone. This is a propaganda. Your High Commission is enjoying good time here. They are enjoying here doing nothing. You should call these people.
Why are you worried about the High Commission? Please be worried about Pakistan. Be worried of your FATF. Be worried about the fact you're on the grey list, Kamar Chima. Kamar Chima, the question is very direct and pointed. If you are willing to answer, fine. Otherwise, there is no point carrying forward this conversation, Kamar Chima.
Why you are spending money? The public taxpayers' money you are spending on the Indian staff in Islamabad. What they are doing other than spying? They are doing nothing. You should take them back.
Okay, we leave it here, Kamar Chima. But Republic will be on top of that story. Sushant and Kamar Chima.